Well, a strong cold front is making its way south this evening. You can clearly see where it is just by taking a look at some of the temperatures. You've got some colder air diving in behind it, areas up through the Great Lakes, northern portions of the Ohio Valley, 40s and 50s. But on the other side of the front, temperatures are still well into the 70s. Now, the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast, it's not as dramatic, but we have some 40s off to our north and west. We're still checking in close to 60 here in Westfield, actually, and you've got 60s and 70s down through the mid-Atlantic. So the colder air is coming in out of the north and west. You can see that 24-hour temperature change up around the Great Lakes is pretty dramatic. Today, we hit highs in the middle 60s, and tomorrow's highs are going to be back to the middle 40s. So we're going to have that, 20-degree temperature drop coming our way, too. The radar right now is showing that line of showers starting to exit western Mass. There are a couple of rain and even high terrain snow showers up across the Adirondacks tonight, which shows you how much colder that air mass is. But we should be done with the wet weather. Your 24 showing some partial clearing this evening, but still some patchy clouds here and there overnight. So clear to partly cloudy. Temperatures fall to the low 40s around or just after midnight, and then we'll continue dropping. And we should be in the low to mid 30s by sunrise tomorrow, even some upper 20s possible in the hills. We'll have almost full sunshine to start off the day, and it will be brisk. That wind could still occasionally be up to around 10-15 miles an hour tomorrow, so it's going to make it feel just a little bit colder. Prepare for it to feel like 20s in the morning. As we head closer to the afternoon, we're climbing back above freezing at least, and eventually getting back into the low to mid 40s. So tomorrow, a below normal temperature day, definitely a chill in the air, the breeze not helping much. Then we'll have cloud cover that starts streaming in close to sunset, and those clouds will continue to increase ahead of our next weather maker. Dry air is coming in, though, for tonight and tomorrow, so you don't have to worry about any wet or wintry weather. Just, instead of having the T-shirt, you're going to have that coat back out for tomorrow morning. Temperatures tomorrow afternoon only again hitting mid-40s. And the breeze out of the northwest about 10 to 15, maybe a few higher gusts across the hills. We'll have lighter wind Wednesday night and Thursday, and then it gets a little brisk Friday into the start of the weekend. And in between is that next weather maker. So we have low pressure that's coming from the Great Lakes, and it's going to be bringing our next round of wet weather by Wednesday night. I would say close to midnight it gets started, and it may get started as a wintry mix. We might have rain with some sleet mixed in across the valley, and then some snow, sleet, and freezing rain across the hill towns. That will continue a good chunk of the night. The pink here, it's not really showing you too much detail with this model, but the best shot at seeing snow is going to be up north of the Route 2 corridor, maybe some of the high terrain, but it looks like more of an icy mixture for the hills, especially the eastern slopes of the Berkshires. Then once you hit the valley, especially south of Route 2, it's going to be rain and some sleet. So roads should stay fine. It's once you get into the higher elevations, especially above 1,000 feet, that you may run into some issues. There could be a few winter weather advisories above 1,500 feet for some minor icing, but that's really it in terms of impact. We'll have rain showers that continue throughout the day Thursday, with just some of the highest elevations still dealing with a little bit of an icy mixture. Not much for snow or sleet. Again, ice I think is the biggest concern, and only in the high terrain. So Thursday afternoon, evening, we start drying out. Friday, a good deal of clouds, but milder. Saturday, we start getting cool. We're a little breezy for Veterans Day. Then it's chilly Sunday and Monday. But next week, trending mostly dry and gradually warmer. Chris and Abby, back to you.